Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to a brand new video here today and some more F1 2020 My Team Career Mode. Today we have some upgrades on the car but also on myself. There's going to be a million comments about it, so I'll address it straight away. I am wearing glasses. These are not for visual impairment, these are for blue light reasons. I'm in front of a screen, lots of hours during the day, and recently I've been having a few issues with my eyes and also a few headaches, so I feel like this was a good idea in terms of helping me out a little bit and hopefully relieving some of the stress and some of the issues I've been having, and hopefully it helps me out. But anyway, that aside, let's jump into the action because this is what we're here for. We're here for the F1 and that is what it's all about. So today we are here for the Spanish Grand Prix, round 6 of the season. If you guys missed round 5 at the, of course, returning Zandvoort circuit, guys, it will be linked up in the top right hand corner of your screen. And if you guys are new to the channel, like, subscribe, and let's get straight into the video. So first and foremost, jumping into the laptop this weekend, we do have, as you can see, the Spanish Grand Prix as the next event. I'm also running a new helmet. I've actually switched my helmet out. I'm going to remove the 2000 Schumacher one and switch it for the 95 Benetton one with the blue on the top, which I feel like would match the car a lot better. Also, weather-wise, no rain expected this weekend in Spain, of course. It doesn't really often rain in Spain. And then finally, in terms of R&D, as you can see, we have no upgrades this weekend and neither do Haas. So we remain second from bottom at the moment, but hopefully we can try and turn that around soon. We do have upgrades in every single department on the way, as you can see on screen. And also worth noting, this weekend is going to be a tricky one because the engine wear is pretty marginal heading into this race. To be fair, we're floating around the 60-65% mark. Ideally, I want to try and do this race and Monaco, but we'll see how that one shakes out. Either way, we're now going to jump into practice real quick because we're going to see exactly what happened in this session, and we're going to get the car kind of shaken down and up to speed. And straight away, I noticed that, to be fair, I was quite happy around here. The car felt good, but as is the case with Spain, like in real life with pre-season testing, this track is very much a reality check. So we are where we are in the sense that we are the second worst team on the grid, and that's more or less where things are. As you can see, after practice, we got a pretty good combined total of 500 points pretty much between myself and my teammate. And yeah, like I said, practice kind of showed that we are where we are. It's going to be tricky to pull something out the bag here this weekend. I feel like everyone's quite spread out, a lot of 2x2 in terms of the team order, so yeah, we'll see what we can do. Mick's been pretty good in qualifying, to be fair. He's been pretty handy in some of these sessions, so we never know, we may have a chance. There is our new sponsor from the last race, and there is our new helmet from this race. And here we are then, just quickly running you guys through the engine wear before we get underway in qualifying. You can see in the bottom right, we're pushing on certain components, let's say, so yeah. We now move on to what was the end of my first time lap in qualifying, and we got held up a little bit by the Haas, but not majorly. A little bit of dirty air through the final part of the lap. We now open up the DRS and cross the line, and to be fair, it was a very good banker lap, 1:16.1, very strong lap. I was quite happy with it, and you can see now we are currently P20 as we now finish our second time lap. We were pretty much neck and neck throughout the whole lap, and I crossed the line with a delta in the red, but somehow we improved by 4/1000ths of a second. Ultimately, still only P19, so we need to find some more time, and this was my best lap of the session, guys. So let's go for a lap of Barcelona, and let's see how good this lap was. Here we go, out the final corner, opening up the DRS, and we are going to improve by about 0.2 of a second, which, to be fair, was a pretty strong lap. I was quite happy with it. Ultimately, though, it was only enough for P20, and that is kind of where the car is, to be honest.
How will not making Q3 affect your strategy tomorrow?
Not majorly. Again, we're not expecting to get Q3, but we'll try and make something happen.
How do you feel this season is going for you? Is the car competitive?
It's not too bad, to be fair, but the team are doing a good job of making things tick over quite nicely, so credit to them.
Appreciate your time.
And with the interview done, we now move into the final part, which is the rivalry breakdown. Of course, with Grosjean, we are currently leading 16 to 11 out of a possible 30 points with 3 races to go. And also worth noting, of course, the team acclaim, and we're getting pretty close now to level 5, and Mick is also getting close to level 6. And as a team now, we are chasing level 7. We're gaining nearly 20% now acclaim boost per event. But guys, that is it for qualifying. We're now going to move into the race here for the Spanish Grand Prix.
The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture on the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, a track that will certainly force the drivers to push themselves. It consists of a very impressive main straight going into turn 1. It's a straight that also offers a DRS zone, so it's likely to be a hot spot for overtakes. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. So, let's briefly discuss Lewis Hamilton. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel and Albon, Perez, Sainz, Ocon and Lando Norris, Stroll, Kvyat, Kimi Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Gasly, Daniel Ricciardo. They've taken a grid penalty, and Kevin Magnussen, Schumacher, Martinez, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Right guys, so here we go. It's time for the Spanish Grand Prix, starting from P20 on the grid. Pretty decent qualifying, not the best. We didn't fully maximise it. Having said that, could I have beaten Mick Schumacher? I'm not quite sure. So, in that sense, I think we pretty much got the maximum pace out of the car. But in terms of the race, I feel quite confident. I'm low-key confident we could potentially maybe score a point today with our strategy. So we're going to start on the hard compound tyres. We haven't done that in a little while. And we're going to then go on to the mediums. A very simple one-stop. The game, of course, recommended medium to hard. I've flipped that around, going the other way around. And also I'm confident because the one-stop is quite a lot more competitive than a 2. And I feel like doing it with a hard tyre first and then with the mediums is going to give us a much stronger chance later on in the race. So I really like it. The target for the first part of the stint is to try and make up a few places on the hard tyre and try and hang on to that position. And then when it gets to the pit stop phases, it's important to get clean air and be able to push as much as we can and don't get caught up in traffic. So let's see if it works out. I feel confident this could be a strong chance for points maybe today, so I want to try and maximise it. So without further ado, let's get racing here for round number 6 for the Spanish Grand Prix. Here we go. Let's see what kind of start we get on the hard compound tyres as the lights are on. And this lights out and away we go. Not the best launch off the line. We're going to have to cover the inside here as we go down towards the first corner. Both of the Williams cars, of course, looking for an overtake here. We're kind of stuck on the inside though. We're going to have to be careful to not run into the back of my teammate. That allows Russell and Latifi to go both around the outside. We're going to hang on though and try and keep Latifi behind us as we now go through turn 3. Inside line, Russell getting a bit wide there in the Williams. Can we go back down the inside? No, we can't, but we are going to go around the outside though and give him the old switcheroo and get back past around the outside. Gone to the grass there. We're going to box him in with Mick in front of us. Hopefully we can stay ahead of George, give him a bit of a squeeze onto the curb, and there we go. Back ahead of both Williams cars. I did want to make a move on Mick, but at the same time, he isn't a faster tyre than me, so I'm quite happy to sit behind him and see if he has good pace and he can try and drag me along, because ultimately if I go ahead, I'm going to be holding him up. So we've got to think, realistically here and logically. So we'll let Mick get on with it. Hopefully it doesn't cost us too much time. We can try and make some progress, because I could have gone for a huge dive into the hairpin there, but we're being, quite mature about this. We are a team. Let's see if Mick can make some moves happen. We are going to struggle with engine wear. I'm still debating if I can make the engine last this race and the next one at Monaco. If I can do that, we're going to be looking pretty good in terms of getting to the end of the season on our engine allocation. But at the same time, if we have to take a penalty, we'll take one. It's no big deal. But I'd rather, again, keep it realistic and, you know, try and eke the most out of components like they would do in real life. So yeah, personal best, half a second quicker, of course, with the assistance of DRS. At the minute, we're hanging on, good pace. Mick isn't making any progress because the car in front, the Renault, is on soft tyres, so it's making it quite hard. But at the minute, I'm happy to just sit behind my teammate. He's dragging me along with DRS as well, so this is working fine for us so far. Mick's dropping off now. He's dropped out DRS of the cars ahead.
Moving to mix 2, fuel to mix 2.
Ricardo pits in the Renault off the soft tyres, but like I was saying, Mick's dropping off from the cars ahead. And now I'm kind of sat here contemplating making a move on him. We've got Russell behind, who's also within DRS. You can really tell Mick is a 61 rated driver in the races, especially. Just lacks a bit of pace. We need to improve on that in the driver training. More cars in the pit lane, mainly soft tyre runners. We've got the leaders who are already leaving the pit lane and they've already got a pit stop gap on us. There is Sebastian Vettel. We'll go around the outside of him into turn number 1. That's going to separate myself from George Russell, which is good. Let's see if we can use the traffic to close in and now make a move on my teammate, because I feel like I'm losing quite a bit of time behind Mick. Right, I'm expecting Sebastian Vettel to make a move here with that Ferrari power unit, of course. Personal best from us. Well, to be fair, Seb isn't getting that much now. He's starting to pull us in. We'll let him take that. We're not going to fight a Ferrari. It makes no sense. Might as well let him get on with it. He's going to be boxed in behind Schumacher anyway, so we'll hopefully still get DRS. Personal best, we're hanging in there. Albon's behind us, but he's not close enough for a move. Here goes Sebastian. A move on Schumacher into turn 1. We're just going to sit back and let it happen. And there we go. We're now going to be right on the back of our teammate moving forward. And we'll have a chance to pass him, hopefully. Well, to be fair, Albon's going for one hit. Looks like he's seen Seb make a move and he wants to follow through himself. So there he goes. Mick's actually hanging on to Albon here, but eventually he has to yield. Engine we're picking up quite a bit now, 71% on the control electronics. Seeing the rate is you know, getting worse at, I don't think we're going to make another race with this engine. I really don't. But we'll see, we'll analyse it. I'm pretty close to Mick to go for a move. I wonder if we can pull it off. He does have DRS on Albon. We're not close enough. We'll have to wait a little bit longer. Mick's still got okay pace on mediums, so we'll just sit back and watch. Tyre wear is pretty high actually, even on the hard compound tyres. Surprisingly high. I really thought I'd have a little bit less wear than this, but we'll be fine. It's not going to affect our strategy, so yeah, we'll keep going. Currently setting back-to-back personal bests. Pace is not too bad, to be fair. Front left 41%, that's quite a lot. That's why we turned the tyre pressures down on the setup as well, like we did at China. Bit rough there, exit wasn't particularly great. I'm noticing the little icon above the rich mix. It's getting more and more red as a few cars pit actually. Let's see this McLaren leaving the pit exit. What happens? Lando Norris. We're going to go around the outside. There we go. We just get ahead. Crucial move, that one. Lando on hard tyres. His teammate Sainz behind was on mediums. And so is Perez. So that's going to take some pressure off for now. There we go. Mick pits. That's going to release us now into clean out.
Mick is in the pits. Mick in the pits.
A few more cars in the pit lane as well. Let's see what kind of pace we have on these tyres. Tyre wear is quite high, so I'm not too confident we're going to have an extreme amount of pace, but we'll see what we can do. Currently though, we are holding up a truly train of sorts in this race. A lot of cars behind us, and they're all lining up. Oh, I've made a mistake. I've accidentally left my ERS on the whole lap, so I went down to 0% on the back straight. Big mistake. I must have accidentally pressed the button. I've literally got no charge left now. That is far from ideal. Pace is still decent though. I'm hanging in there, matching my personal best pretty much. Only issue now is I'm starting to run out of tyres big time. We're out of ERS deployment. This is going to allow Lando to have a run on us here. We're going to have to use it straight across the start and finish. Try and stay ahead of the McLaren if we can. Using up the rest of our charge, but it's no use. McLaren power shines through. Lando goes by, and there we go. That was a big mistake. That's a consequence of me accidentally using the ERS. Oh well, let's try and charge the battery up if we can this lap. Okay, Perez pits behind us.
Push now. We're boxing this lap.
Yeah, we're going to pit this lap. So we've had a pretty good stint. A few more cars there coming in for their second stops. We're going to pit for our one and only stop this lap for the medium compound tyre. So we'll have a much better compound in the next stint. I'm a little bit concerned about tyre life. Perez pitting is going to mean an undercut. So he's going to probably get ahead of us now. That's okay. We're in a different race. I've just got to do my own thing and hope that it's enough at the end to maybe somehow be in the top 10. Although the race pace, I can't lie, has been a little bit worse than I anticipated. Normally we're quite good on race pace after qualifying, but it hasn't been the case here today. Control electronics 75%. I'm starting to get a bit worried. I might not even make it to the end of this race, let alone do Monaco, which is what I originally had in mind. That control electronics is wearing out so quickly. That's why we bought the upgrade in the last episode, and we need it to arrive because it's not looking good. Into the pit lane though. Get it all slowed down. There we go. That's a very good entry. Right, mediums are ready. We're all good to go. Let's hope for a good stop. Hopefully they feed us back out ahead of Sainz and Ocon, who are pitting right behind us. And let's see where we rejoin. That's going to be interesting. A lot of cars on hard tyres ahead of us.
Release, release.
2.4.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Using overtake on pit exit. Got Perez on the outside. We're going to just stay in front of him, which I'm very surprised about actually. But then again, he went up to the hard tyres, so that is also very surprising. Okay, so we're P16, which is the best case scenario. Or sorry, I say worst case scenario really. And we can only go up. So Mick in front, he's on the hard compound tyre, P15. Let's try and get past our teammate and try and push on. There's plenty of cars on hard tyres ahead of us. We're going to have the better compound for the rest of the race, so now it's all about pushing. We're going to push this engine now because we're going to have to change it.
With the control electronics box, that's going to do additional damage to all other power unit components.
Oh, there it is. It's what I said before. The control electronics affects everything else, so this could be a big problem, boys. This might get ugly. Right, we're going to try and get past our teammate if we can. Get it out of the way.
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon.
Not enough juice on the straight. I was going to run out of ERS. I may as well save what I've got left for another attempt, but looks like I'm struggling to make a difference against my teammate at the minute. Just struggling. I think we're down on power, to be fair. Straight line speed isn't that great, even though I'm running 4.6 wings. So again, it all works together. It all ties in. Right, let's try and get past Mick this time. We are a lot closer, heading through the frontal chicane. I'll get the traction out of there. Overtake mode engaged nice and early. Let's see if we can get this moved on early on. Personal best 18.7. It's going to be close. We're still going to run out of juice here, but we are going to switch to the inside on our teammate and get them moved on the brakes down the inside. And there we go, we're through. Hopefully now we can try and pull away in standard engine mode and gradually recharge the battery by the time we catch up to the Haas cars in front. Another personal best, even in standard engine mode. That's good pace. Now Mick has got an absolute just massive train of cars behind, so good luck to him in terms of keeping those boys behind. We're now going to pull away into the distance. I'll say that Perez makes a move. Hopefully Mick can try and get him back and delays progress a little bit. I've got to be honest, guys, I don't have the pace. Magnussen is actually pulling away and Perez has caught me up. He's 6 tenths behind and within DRS range, and we still have no ERS charge. So yeah, we're limping home here with the engine issues. Looks like this has been a massive reality check. We've had no race pace and very much proving that we are the second from worst car on the grid. Both myself and Mick are outperforming the car at the minute. But yeah, this is going to be a tough one to finish actually. Even with the medium tyres, I'm still off the pace.
Okay, we're reaching a danger point with the wear on the MGU-H. Overheating the engine will exacerbate the issue, so keep the temps under control.
That's alright. Good thing we're out in front, because when you're out in front, temperatures are much better. When you're behind, you overheat like crazy, so this works for us. Control electronics 77. I've run that very hot on the brakes. I've made a mistake. We'll recover though under traction and we'll get back ahead of Perez for now. But that was big mistake there. No lock-up, so the tyres won't overheat and they won't go red on the tyre temps. So that's good, but it's only a matter of time now before Perez goes by. I don't even have the ERS to really fight this, to be honest with you. I'm trying to charge it up as much as I can by running lean mix, but it's just no use. I'm going to have to use it all here to stay in front of the racing point. Let's see. Okay, we should be okay for now. Oh, yellow flag behind. Oh, I think it's Mick. Mick's had an issue. So he's in the same boat as me in terms of reliability. Mick out of the race. That's a big warning sign for us because we're very close as well with our engine. That is not good news. Could be in trouble here, boys. Everything's going on this car now. Absolutely everything. We've still got 5 laps to go. We're keeping the guys behind. To be fair, you know, I've got a good pace in sector 3, and that's just given me enough of a gap that I can stay ahead on the pitch straight, but we are limping home here. It's a shame because the car feels okay now, to be fair. I do wonder how badly down on power I am, because now that the fuel's been off, the car feels very light, very nimble and quite quick, but to be fair, this is the closest Perez has been.
Pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
Here he goes to the outside into turn 1. We're going to hang in there, stick our nose in and commit around the outside of turn 2, inside for 3, and there we go, we stay in front for now. But for how much longer can we hold on? Here goes Perez again. Control electronics now, pushing 80%. We go around the outside of the Mexican driver and we stay in front yet again. Oh my goodness me. Big wobble there, under acceleration. Just realised Hamilton's right at the back of this train now. He's about to lap us, so I'll happily take 1 lap less in this race. That will help us out a lot.
Engine wear is looking significant now. Performance will be affected.
It's really not looking good at all. We're really hanging on here. We've been given the blue flag. Hamilton has passed Perez and Ricciardo. I'm now the next car. Not going to push this too much. We'll let him go here. Down the inside. If he wants it, of course. There we go. Let's see if we can stick with DRS. And that will help us out in the back straight in terms of bringing this one home. But we've been lapped for the first time in this career mode. And Spain definitely has been a reality check in terms of all the performances of the cars are what they should be, you know, where they actually are. Good news is, this is now the last lap, so just a few more corners.
1 lap of fuel remaining.
That's fine, no need to worry about that. All we got to do now is bring it home and limp this engine home. I mean, oh my goodness me, 82% on the control electronics. We've got a lot of mileage out of this old boy, but we're now done with this power unit. Here we go, out the final corner. Lewis Hamilton will win and will come through for P15, which is still a good result considering the circumstances.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
A real team effort which has paid off in spades. A great victory here at the Spanish Grand Prix. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
Right guys, so here we are looking at the final results. Hamilton wins ahead of Verstappen and Bottas, rounding up the podium. Leclerc and Vettel 4th and 5th. Sebastian picking up the fastest lap ahead of Norris and Albon. So Norris actually beating one of the Red Bulls here today. Stroll, Kvyat and Raikkonen round off the top 10, with Giovinazzi missing out on the points along with Gasly, Grosjean, Magnussen, myself, Perez, Ricciardo, Sainz, Ocon and Russell. Latifi and of course Mick Schumacher, the only retirement of the race here today. Of course he retired earlier on. In terms of the standings, of course, the only issue is now with Raikkonen scoring points, we've now dropped down to 15th. So yeah, we're now out of view, if you will, in the top half of the table. Verstappen up to 2nd place and Norris all the way up to 7th place, and Lance Stroll into the top 10 as well. And in terms of the constructors, we lose out to Alfa Romeo, so we're now down to 9th. So which is, it's a bit of a shame, but we'll keep fighting, we'll keep hustling. And you know, speaking of which, we're gonna see if we can put up some fight in the next episode. But guys, let's jump to the laptop and let's see what we can do heading into the next race at Monaco.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
I mean, I wouldn't exactly say that, but you know what? I've got to give credit where it's due. I think, you know, the engineers have done a pretty good job with the power unit.
You're beating all expectations. Would you say we all underestimated you?
I think it's credit to the team, really. Simple as that.
Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash?
Not really. I think we're okay. But I'll just say, I think we need to focus on getting more downforce. I mean, that is kind of true in a way.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Right, so looking at the rivalry breakdown, this time we lost out to Grosjean, so he's managed to claw back a few points, you know, in that inter-team or inter-battle rivalry, whatever you want to call it. In terms of the team acclaim, though, we're now almost level 5, and Mick is now on his way to level 6, and also as a team we're very close now to level 7, so hopefully we'll achieve that over the Monaco Grand Prix race weekend. But finally, the cash, the income, again, we failed to get a top 10 with DSB Optics, but I feel like it's all going to come to fruition this weekend with the Monaco Grand Prix. I think the next race is going to be key. And also a bit of a cash loss there from Mick, of course, due to the DNF, but that's fine. And in the end, we've now got $3.63 million. We've got a hell of a lot of cash, and we're really quickly starting to build it up. So we're definitely going to spend some here today. Right, guys, so let's get some upgrades underway. First and foremost, you can see on the top right, worn components. As you guys know, the engine is very much second-hand, and if we have a little look, you can see the wear. It's looking pretty bad, to be fair. We are going to use this engine one more time for practice at Monaco. Only practice. For qualifying, we will change the engine out for a fresh one, as it's way too risky, so hopefully we'll avoid that. Let's jump into some R&D there. We only have 600 points, so let's see what we can do. So we have 2 failed upgrades, which is terrible. We're moving to Monaco next, so obviously out of the 2 that have failed, the more logical choice is going to be the aerodynamic one, so we are going to get that on the car. Can we squeeze in the engine one as well, possibly? Yes, we can, 275, so we can squeeze that in, and it will hopefully arrive before the Monaco Grand Prix, so we should have a big bunch of upgrades on the car, which is great, and you can see in the progress here we've got 1 for pretty much each department. But now let's move over to the facilities, because we have 3.6 million to spend. First and foremost, the marketing. We are going to spend some money in activities management, which is going to slightly increase positive effects from team activities. It's going to be a big one, actually. It's going to really help us out. I feel like this one is tempting, the sponsor relations, but I just can't afford to wait until we get 5 million. That is so much money. We need to speed things up in other areas. So we're going to get the activities management, and that will hopefully arrive for the 16th of May. Besides that, though, as you can see, we're looking pretty good elsewhere. We do have the chassis one now on the car, and that is helping us out in terms of the build time for the upgrades. And I want to mention really quick on the R&D one more thing. You can see here, we do have possible upgrades on the way, it looks like. So hopefully we've got 20th of September for this one here. We've got 8th of August for this one. So quite a while till we get some engine upgrades. Durability wise, we are expecting some more on the 25th of May. So we are getting one very soon. Chassis wise and aero wise, of course, that doesn't depend on the engine. So that is up to us. So we are going to get some durability upgrades pretty soon. But guys, we're now going to assign some activities before we wrap things up. We've got quite a big gap, to be fair, before Monaco. So a big chance here to make things happen. And I'm going to use that to upgrade and improve the team. So first of all, power equipment upgrade. I think that's going to be a big one in terms of improving as a whole as a team. We're then going to assign some reaction training for Mick Schumacher to hopefully improve as a driver. And then the final 3, it's tempting, but I'm going to go for chassis team building again to improve the team even more. It is going to leave us a spare day, but that's okay. It doesn't concern me too much. And we're now going to advance on the timeline. Now, before we wrap things up, we do have a bit more money as a few days have gone by and we've stacked up on cash flows. So we are going to do potentially another upgrade, and I'm thinking personnel for this one. We've got 2 million to spend, or 2.22 million. We can buy any of these, and I feel like this is a good chance to improve Mick Schumacher's pace. So we're going to go for the most expensive one, and that is the simulator. Second driver pace stat will slightly improve. The other 2 are racecraft and awareness. To be fair, this one's actually pretty good because it gives us 2 stats instead of 1. The fitness center, that actually might be a better option in fairness, because it knocks out 2 birds with 1 stone. So we'll do this one instead. Apply that will arrive for the 25th of May as well, so that will arrive when the durability upgrade arrives. So there we go, a bunch of upgrades I've been put onto the car. and we're now going to improve quite a lot, to be fair, as a team, I feel like. And the next race is Monaco, guys. So yeah, we're going to see how things pan out. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you have, drop me a like and subscribe, guys, if you are new, for more F1 2020 My Team content. I can't wait, guys. Monaco is going to be so exciting. It's a massive chance for us. If it's like previous F1 games, we know what the AI like around there. We may have a chance to get something out of that one. But guys, that is going to be it. That's where I'm going to leave it. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Check out the 2 videos on your screen right now if you have missed them. And I'll see you all next time for the Monaco Grand Prix. But until then, take care and goodbye.